but the pizza, but the food here is pretty cheap. For example, medium pizza costs you like $2.
All righty, welcome back, everybody. It's been about 3 weeks since we've done the last one, but we are back with Live with the Viewers. We've got myself and we've got Joshua, and we also have Tadeo, who was on, I believe, the first Live with the Viewers. Is that correct, Tadeo? Oh, I think he's muted right now. I'm muted.
That's right.
That's right?
That's right.
So this should be a lot of fun. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over obviously, as always, we'll be going over whatever questions y'all ask in the comment section down below. But if people aren't asking questions, we'll probably just be talking about free agency, recapping our thoughts on all the free agents and what we think could potentially happen in the future. But, it just all depends on what y'all are commenting, what you're asking, and things like that. But let's get into it. So, before anybody asks any questions, Joshua, I just want to ask you, we're getting towards the end of free agency. Justin Houston, NFL rumors and stuff like that. They've tweeted about Justin Houston. They've tweeted about Todd Gurley. What are your thoughts on those guys? Is it, are we going to get them? Do we need to get them? What are you kind of thinking about that?
Honestly, I definitely feel like, it's been a lot of praise in training camp, with our young guys, especially when it comes to Odafu. And I feel like they're definitely on the wave of getting them out there. I know they've been seeing, progression out of Sack Daddy, Jalen. I definitely would love to see him out there, but I feel like we still need that veteran presence. So I still would try to, see if we can shoot that shot at Justin Houston. It just all comes down to if it's about the money or does he want to win a championship? Hopefully it's about, ending his career off with a chip, which I feel like will solidify his position, especially, with him being his age and what he can bring, and how we keep so many pieces rotating and we can have him for a 17-game season. Even though, we all know in a split second that somebody can go down. But I feel like, the way we move, play, especially on that defensive side of the ball, Wink will make sure he's healthy enough in order for him to stay for the 17-game season. Todd Gurley, in my opinion, though, I'm iffy. For the simple fact, Todd Gurley is a feature back. He's still trying to prove himself. And we had two feature backs, in my opinion, between Gus and and JK. If we was to get another running back, I would want to get someone that's a little more dynamic, a little bit, someone else that can add to the passing game, someone that can be a safety net and still make things happen. So
Le'Veon Bell,
right?
Absolutely. I see we got people in here. The first comment actually came from the legend. Now known as Cincy Edits, formerly known as, had a lot of names, but we got the legend in here, Cincy Edits, the ultimate Ravens stream troll. What's going on, Walter Martinez? Welcome to the stream. I see Warden Zero's in here. How you doing, Warden Zero? Everybody, we're doing good. It's good to be back. It's been
absolutely
too long. We've been waiting a very long time to do this. All right, we got today's screen is working, so we can get back into this. Even though it doesn't really fit when we're doing the boxes, so I'll just take them away while we got stuff up. But doing good. I see Don C's in the chat. What's going on, Don C? Don C knows what's up. Telling everybody hit the like button. Yeah, let's see how many likes we can get on this on the return stream. But unfortunately, Warden Zero's got to work on Saturdays. I see Warden Zero on Twitter. He's always asking to do it on Sundays to get him in. But that's when we typically record the Trust the Bank podcast is on Sundays. But one of these days, we'll definitely have to get a Sunday stream. It's just NFL is typically on Sundays, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll get one eventually. But if y'all have any questions, make sure to ask them in the chat. We'll go over them. We got a lot of announcements that we'll go over, but don't want to do it really right at the beginning of the stream. We'll probably do it when a little bit more people are in the stream, but we'll see. If nobody else joins, that's fine. We can tell it to the 10 people watching. That's all good.
Yeah.
But let's see. Today, what do you think? Kind of in the Todd Gurley, Justin Houston situation.
Honestly, I would not go for Todd Gurley. We have too much. I'm okay with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards leading the running game, but I would like Justin Houston not only for producing on the field, but mentoring Jason Owett, because if Jason Owett is going to be like our linebacker of the pass rusher of the future, we need someone that can guide him. And for me, Justin Houston is the right guy because he has been a Pro Bowler. He has been a very good player, and many guys like Frank, like for example D4, have learned a lot about him. That's why I would like Justin Houston, but Todd Gurley no.
Yeah. Justin Houston's been a leader in his career. I see Adam78 says, I don't want to see Gurley sign. I'd rather see a veteran pass rusher. I would agree with that. I would definitely rather sign a veteran pass rusher. Obviously the top guy is Justin Houston. Now, whether or not we'd be able to get Justin Houston is still unknown based off of, there isn't a lot of information about him. And obviously the Ravens are working mostly towards Lamar Jackson's contract. That's the biggest thing that they're focused on, is trying to extend him. The issue is we just get no information about it because he doesn't have an agent leaking information. We don't have, it's not like we have any insiders in. If anybody's a Ravens insider, hit us up. We definitely will not leak information. We won't tell the people, not at all. We'll just keep it a secret. But yeah, we don't really know what's going on with the Ravens because they are such a, they're as they would say in, kind of England, they're a class organization. They don't want to let that stuff leak, whereas teams like the Browns and teams like the Steelers, just those lower echelon teams, they let that stuff leak. The Ravens don't want to let that stuff leak. Lamar doesn't want that stuff to leak. So we don't know. It's very difficult to not know, but it's also fun to be able to predict and stuff like that. I see Warden Zero agrees with kind of the idea that we'd much rather get a pass rusher. I see Nana Raven number 8. I'm assuming Rav stand, but maybe it's just Nana Rav number 8, saying depending on the Chiefs' vulnerability after losing their pass rusher to felony activity, Justin Houston may not be available for much longer. That could be true. If y'all didn't know, the issue is we don't know if he's going to be. He faces up to 3 years in prison. However, that is the maximum charge for Frank Clark. So there is a possibility that it is something along the lines of, because I believe it was a possession charge is what he was charged with. It's not like as a Braves fan in baseball, Marcelo Ozuna was charged with like assault, which is a significantly worse charge to get, especially in the sports world like that. You're going to get banned and stuff like that. Frank Clark, there is a chance that he doesn't serve any time, and there is a chance that even the NFL may give him you're suspended for 6, you're suspended for 8 weeks. We don't know. We got to wait for the courts to deal with that entire situation, and then for the NFL to look at it. But we'll see what happens with that. But Justin Houston, I don't know if he'd want to come back to Kansas City after he did leave, because they got to sign a lot of guys. They don't have a ton of money. However, it does increase the need for a pass rusher, because the Ravens want to sign him for cheap, but now the Chiefs want to sign him for cheap. So we'd have to raise the price a little bit. So that is a bit concerning that they did lose that. Also, it just sucks that, Frank Clark, as a Ravens fan, it's great that the Chiefs lost a guy, but as an NFL fan, it does suck to see those guys get those types of charges and things like that. We got a question from Adit Mahmoud. Saying, what is more likely the reason for the Ravens not to sign one of these guys? A veteran desire to miss as much as training camp as possible, or Lamar extension talks? I think it's I don't even think it's Lamar extension talks. I just think it's the Ravens' lack of their own feeling that they need an edge rusher. You know, if we remember, the Ravens, they decided to talk, you know, with Justin Houston before the draft, but they also talked to Alejandro Villanueva. What happened after the draft? As soon as they were able to sign, the Ravens give Villanueva. Like, I felt like that was a clear decision on their part that they said, we would rather have the offensive tackle to shore up the right side of the line rather than going for the edge rusher, because they drafted, you know, remember this was before the draft. They ended up drafting not only Odafe Away, but they also drafted Dalen Hayes. And I feel like that showed that, okay, they believe in those guys rather than needing a veteran pass rusher. Now, as fans, I think a lot of us want a veteran pass rusher. However, in terms of the Ravens, I feel like they are okay with the guys that they have. And yes, it's the Lamar extension talks, but it could also be a overall just waiting, not the veterans' desire to miss as much training camp, but for the Ravens' desire to wait to see if any players get cut during training camp to see their full options. So that would be my answer is like, I think it's just a patient organization. But Joshua, what do you think? What do you think the reason is? You know, why haven't they gone after Houston or Ingram or Vernon or all of the guys that were once available and are now slimming?
You most definitely hit the nail in the coffin with, you know, we're waiting it out. You know, Ravens fans, if y'all did not know, you know how it is. You know how it is being a Ravens fan, especially when it comes to off season. We don't make a lot of splashes. If anything, we find the best player available. Not only the best player available, but the best player that can be a Raven. So I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't even think the conversations between Justin Houston and the front office maybe went south. I feel like they're probably at the stall, if anything. But you know, Justin Houston is a man that's keeping his options open. He wants to get paid what he feels his worth. I definitely respect that. I get that. But we all know at the training camp, once cuts are made, the Ravens are bound to pick somebody up that they feel like that can make an impact on the team. So I definitely feel like we're waiting it out. If there was an offensive player, I think if we were searching for an offensive player, maybe like if Julio was still available or even Le'Veon Bell, I feel like the extension talks with Lamar Jackson would definitely be a big factor. But right now, the extension talks is not a huge thing to a defensive player, in my opinion. At the end of the day, the defense win championships. They're gonna come out and play regardless, you know, of who's their quarterback. So I definitely don't think it's that. But you know, it's good to hear that the extension talks are going in a positive direction. So.
All right. And what do you think today? What do you think is kind of the reason why the Ravens haven't gotten one of these guys?
Probably what you say. Eric DeCosta probably is going to wait. I don't think the Lamar Jackson section will influence too much because the extension is going to take time. Is going to take effect until 2013, which is going to be after Lamar Jackson 5-year option, and we're going to sign Justin Houston for 1 year. I think he's not going to make so much effect when you're going to sign up a player that is going to be for only 1 year, and your quarterback contract is going to take effect in 3 or 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's also a very valid point. What do the Ravens want to sign Justin Houston for? Do they want to get him a 1-year deal? Because I feel like Justin Houston at his age probably wants a multi-year contract to solidify, you know, kind of his future in the NFL. But the Ravens, they only want 1 year because they got the young guys that they want to start plugging in. So that's a really good point to add in on there. And I also see this comment from Don C saying all the regulars in the chat. Now we're just missing. Yeah, we are missing Living Legend. But you know, this is what's so cool about streaming is, you know, we got all the guys that, you know, we see talking to each other in the chat. So shout out to all of you guys that like talking to each other and come to the stream, not just to hear us talk, but come to the stream to talk with everybody else and kind of the Ravens community, because that's what makes it a lot of fun. Is seeing everybody, you know, kind of talk to each other. You know, I see Adam78 saying it was reportedly Clark's second felony. Yes. He also had a weapons felony charge. So he could face up to 3 years. Yeah. 3 years could be the charge. However, you know, we just got to see what the court ends up saying about that. I see Maddox. If y'all don't know Maddox is a Steelers fan. He's He's never been on the YouTube channel. He's been on the podcast though, saying who's gonna win the fight tonight. He's rocking with Conor McGregor. I don't follow UFC too heavily. I'm rooting for Conor McGregor. You rooting for McGregor?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say this about McGregor, man. He's like the Floyd Mayweather of UFC. You know, arrogant, an a-hole, but at the same time, you gotta love him, man. You gotta love him.
He makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you know, I don't know much about Poirier, but I just like McGregor's confidence. I like his attitude, even if he loses. You know, watching the like Khabib fight and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he loses, he's still, you know, he's still entertaining about it and things like that. We do see question from, or a statement from Don C says, I don't think the Ravens will sign anyone until after the second preseason game. They want to see what the young guys can do, especially Snack Daddy. I'm assuming you mean Sack Daddy, because Snack Daddy, that would be a great name, because Damon Harrison is Snacks. We need a Snack Daddy. I don't know. I wish there was somebody in the NFL that was nicknamed Snack Daddy. Yeah, I think that is a good idea, waiting till after the second preseason game, because that's when a lot of cuts happen, is, you know, because I believe you have to reduce the roster from like whatever it starts out as like 90. You have to reduce it to like 70 or something like that after the second preseason game. So I think that could be something where, you know, maybe a couple guys get released. It lowers the value of the edge rushers, and then allows the Ravens to get somebody. The issue with that is just, you know, being worried about whether or not the Ravens are going to be able to get them, you know, fully into the Ravens system, because it is a difficult system to learn, and how quickly can they recognize it unless they are a former Ravens player or have played for Wink Martindale before. It's difficult to learn and adapt to the super blitz heavy man system. So that is a concern that I have with waiting, but I see a question from Nana Rav saying, did y'all see the children today at the LJ Fun Day at Florida? They were all over Lamar. It was so sweet to watch. The best part about that was, if y'all have seen the video, somebody posted a video, you can see Engraven in somebody else's posted video with his standing in the back while all the kids are bombarding. And it's just like, you know, that's the type of thing that's crazy, as you see, you know, he's so big, and, you know, Lamar, and everybody wants to go see it. And Lamar is just such a great guy. And, you know, I know they have all the rules where it's like, you know, oh, you can't get autographs, you can't get pictures. I think that's smart. Have it literally just be about the kids, not about, you know, the parents trying to get autographs and stuff like that. Like, no, just have it be about the kids. And that's what Lamar's about. It's just helping the kids, having fun, bringing it back to the community, and things like that. So that was really cool to see today, was that Florida, you know, it's called the LJ Fun Day. I didn't know what it was called, but I didn't know that he had an event for all the kids. Did you guys see that?
No, man, but I mean, it's definitely dope. Florida, when you let's put it like this: when it comes to like Florida, Alabama, Texas, those states, those are some of the states where they breed athletes, and where some of the best hometown legends that don't make it out. But, you know, Hollywood, Lamar, and other guys that's coming from that, you know, that southern roots. You know, they're not only hometown legends, but they're also making a name for themselves at the big stage. So, you know, it's definitely a beautiful thing to see, man.
Absolutely. You know, all those guys from I believe they're from Broward County.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's always cool to see them going back. And, you know, we got a lot of Florida guys on this Ravens roster. So you know, I see a funny comment from Cincy Edit saying people keep talking about offensive line. I'm confused what that is as a Bengals fan. Are you also really confused when we talk about quarterbacks and winning? You know.
You know what? Hey, side note, shout out to Cameron Zeitler, man. I love his dedication. You know, the new baby was being born, and he was still working on his past pro sets. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, that was a funny video. You see him, and, you know, his wife's. She was watching like a movie or something like that on the tablet, and then you just him working on the offensive line routine. What would have been great is if you see like Villanueva to the next right next door to him. Just
like the whole team that was there for the birthday.
They're all just in the room with her.
Hey, we still working on our offensive stats. Come on now, you know what time it is.
Lamar giving the hard counts in the back, just like. But yeah, I see Maddox says, McConnell, do you hear Dwayne Haskins has been super impressive for Pittsburgh and OTAs? It's not that difficult to impress at the quarterback position in Pittsburgh anymore with Big Ben being who he is now and their backups.
Hey, Maddox, I'm rooting for Dwayne for the simple fact he's a Maryland kid. I'm really rooting for him. So even though he has gone to the rivalry team, if he ends up outworking Big Ben, so be it. I love the competition, but we gonna knock him out and shut him up. So it's okay. It's okay.
I would love for Dwayne Haskins to start in Pittsburgh. That would make Pittsburgh way worse. But overall, I see Don C says, I suck at math, but I think Lamar will do a slotted quarterback percentage-based salary. I heard this would be greater for football and a team-friendly, but still getting him paid without gutting the team. I agree. I think that could be a really interesting contract. It was talked about or theorized that that's what Patrick Mahomes could be working on because it was released like, Patrick Mahomes is working on like a revolutionary deal, and it wasn't that revolutionary. It's just a 10-year deal for a lot of money. But overall, I think that the percentage-based deal makes the most sense because of the statistics and things like that, talking about quarterbacks making – I can't remember if it's above 25% or 20% where they just don't win Super Bowls if you make over that percentage of the salary cap. Put Lamar beneath that number, and then that could allow the Ravens to not get it. If the salary cap ever does drop, it hurts Lamar, but it also helps the Ravens in the idea that now, let's say he's getting paid $30 million a year, and that's 20% of the salary cap. That's not accurate numbers, but that's what I'm just saying. He's getting paid $30 million. If the next year he's in a typical backloaded contract, the next year he's making $35 million, but the salary cap decreases, then that makes it, all of a sudden he's making 29% of the cap. And it's like, no, you're not going to be able to win because you can't pay any free agents. Having it where, it fluctuates and things like that. Because not only is it based on Lamar's ability, because, if he's able to play well, he's able to stay on top. But if he helps to raise the salary cap, by providing entertainment for the NFL, which Lamar does, Lamar is one of the most entertaining and money-making players in the NFL based off of, guys people want to watch. He's part of building up that salary cap. So I think that definitely is a big factor. So I think he could do that. I think that'd be really smart for him to do. Or at least really smart for him to do if he wants to win multiple Super Bowls. If he wants to guarantee himself money, then what he's got to do is he's got to go and try and get a really heavily guaranteed front-loaded contract or something like that. But I just think that's less likely. Also, Adit asked, McConnell, are you a Braves fan? Yes, I am a Braves fan, somewhat unfortunately, but then I see, of course. Ooh, never mind. I'm not going to talk about the Cincinnati versus Steelers beef. Let's see this is going to come from this saying Florida takes football serious. What is the best state? What is the best state for producing NFL players? Is it Florida? Is it Texas? Pretty sure Louisiana's got a fair amount of guys, or is it California? I feel like those are probably the biggest states.
We're forgetting Bama.
And Bama, yes. What are the biggest state? What is the best state for growing football players? What do you think?
Listen, because you got some of the best rivalries down in Florida. When you got Pahokee and Glades High School, they always go against each other. From Friday Night Lights in Texas with Perriman and Carter High School. California, you got St. John Bosco, Mater Dei. The list goes on and on. Bama, we already know what they working with. But I would definitely say Florida is taking over. Texas was number one. California was definitely a creeper. That was like maybe I'll give it 4. So I would say Florida 1, Alabama, Alabama 3, Texas 2, California 4, and Louisiana number 5. That's my top 5 states.
Okay, I think that's a pretty fair ranking. I see a good proposal from Adit Mahmood saying thoughts on this Lamar extension: 4 years, 20% of the cap if the cap is between 275 million, 15% if it's between 275 and 375 million, and anything after that is 10%. Now, for the Ravens, this is really good. However, for Lamar, that 20% of $40 million. That would be what the cap is at 200. It would be $40 million. Next, at 15% of 275 to 300 million. If you're at 300 million, 15% of that is $45 million, I believe, based off of my mathematics. And then 10%, anything above that, which is about 400 million, that would be $40 million. That's not really worth it for Lamar, because if the cap goes up and you're at 300, you're now making a little bit more. But then if cap goes up even more, then you're making less. I feel like it's got to be a strict number no matter what the cap is. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for Lamar, because it would just be shifting too much, and that's not really worth it for him, because you could make more money at different cap levels. So I feel like you got to keep it consistent.
You are forgetting that Lamar Jackson makes a lot of money with commercials and with his own brand. I mean, he's a team first player. I mean, he would rather have the weapons that render the money. I mean, he learned the lesson that he would rather have a good trio of wide receivers than Willie Snead, Seth Roberts, and Chris Moore as his wide receivers. Or having I mean, Lamar will prioritize first his team than him when it comes to the contract.
Yeah. So overall, I feel like the percentage thing is good. However, you don't want to overanalyze it and overcomplicate it, because then it just becomes not really like what you could write in is, okay, it caps at $50 million. Something that you could potentially write. However, I don't think that $50 million is super realistic with a percentage cap contract, especially with how low the cap is currently after it was lowered. If he did like a $10 million or 10-year deal, not 10 million, a 10-year deal, then what he would be able to do is that could then end up being like $50 million. But overall, if the cap is going up, Lamar making more money doesn't affect it as much if it's a percentage-based thing. So switching it all up and things like that isn't really necessary. Like, you can do it without that. So I feel like it should just be, put the number at 19% of the cap. And then, if the cap's at 200, then that's just below $40 million. Cap goes up to 300. If the cap's at 300 and you're making 20%, that's a lot of money. I think that's a $45 million, potentially $50 million. Trying to do my quick math in my head, which I haven't done in forever. But what, I don't know. What do you got? What other questions do you guys have? We'll probably get into some announcements and things like that in a few minutes. But if y'all have any questions, make sure to ask before we do that, because in a few minutes we'll definitely go over some stuff, and it'll be pretty cool. So
oh man, the chat is real. Maddox, why would you say that to that man?
Maddox is an angry person.
Listen, don't get a Steelers fan started, because he will call you out. He will call you out. Oh man. I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to this contract talk, I'm glad I'm not in this. I'm glad I'm not in Lamar Jackson seat right now. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to feel. One part of me wants to win championships, but the second part of me wants to, secure the bag as well. So I mean, it's like, how do you balance, this situation out. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I feel like, you know, when you talk about the percentage base for the contract, I feel like that would be more beneficial, you know, in Lamar's situation. And the good thing about Lamar, from the outside looking in, he doesn't seem like, you know, the type of, he don't give that characteristic of someone that's just money hungry. I feel like, you know, I've said it before, I say it again. If he was to sign on with an agent, I know that's going to take away from his money, but I feel like somebody like Rich Paul would take care of him, because, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know. People don't feel like he should be the face or the brand of NFL as of yet, but I feel like the endorsement should have been falling in his lap. I mean, yeah, he's been on Nissan with the Heisman Trophy commercial. That's cool. He's with Oakley, but I definitely feel like he should be on more. Man, like, why not Gatorade or even take over Powerade? I feel like if Lamar did some Powerade commercials,
I'd buy some Powerade.
Yeah. So, you know, it's definitely those deals, those commercial deals, stuff like that. That's where the real money is. You know, you ain't gotta worry about, you know, anything really being taken away from it, as far as the taxes and stuff, as much from your paycheck from the contract.
Absolutely. So I feel like this is a good spot. We'll go through the information. This is going to be fun for the people in the chat. So first of all, I'll say that if you guys didn't know, we set up the second channel. Hopefully we'll be able to start posting and streaming next week. Maybe just posting. Joshua and I haven't figured out when the first stream will be on it. But we'll be streaming. We'll be playing games. It's called TTV Gaming. I'll put the link in the chat. I forgot. I turned off my TV because it makes me look extra white. But I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want to go sub to there. You don't have to, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna stream on there, play some games, especially when the newer games come out, the Maddens, the 2Ks, and stuff like that. Joshua and I are definitely gonna be playing a lot of that, but uploading stuff on there. It's just gonna be more time to hang out with everybody and do that type of stuff. But I think the coolest thing is that what we're doing. Thanks, Maddox, real one. Maddox saying I just subbed. Shout out to Maddox. But I think the next thing is that we're gonna, you know, we really appreciate what everybody in the chat has done. You know, all the viewers and things like that, support since we started the channel. We're actually doing a giveaway, jersey giveaway during this stream. We didn't want to try and like hype it up and things like that and say like, oh, got it, come to this stream to get the jersey giveaway, because it's like, you know, we want the guys the people that show up to the stream normally to be the ones that have the best opportunity to get that jersey. So, you know, I was going to say like a particular jersey, but like, you know, get a Hollywood number 5 jersey, a Patrick Queen number 6, a Rashad Bateman, and Adafe Away. You know, whatever I can find. If there's other rookie jerseys I can find on like Fanatics, you know, that would work too. If you want a Lamar, that's kind of boring, but you know, all that type of stuff. So let's see how we want to do it. We could do it where I'll just, you know, pick a random number and then whoever types it in the chat first gets it, or we could do it like everybody types in the chat and then I just click a random one and then they pop up. I don't know. How do you guys, how should we do it, Joshua?
I think maybe a number between 1 through 30.
Pick a number between 1 and 30. Okay. So when we start counting down, then I'll message it in the private chat so then we can see. Let's see here. Let's see. What should this be? I gotta think. Here, Joshua, you said 1 and 30. You pick the number. You go for it.
All right, gotcha.
Just send it in the private chat, and then we'll have it. So then, you know, people don't think. All right. So we got the number. Whoever types the number first in the chat. But you can't. If I see you're just like typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't do that. Right. You know, maybe wait like 10 seconds between guesses. But
yeah, you not gotta say too hot, too cold. Oh no, you gotta go high. No, man, you gotta go ahead and guess that, man.
Yeah, just guess the number. between 1 and 30. Type it in the chat. Y'all can start whenever. And then if you want, we'll figure out how to do it. Let's see if I can put something up. I see Don C guess number 8. That's incorrect. Nana says 28, also incorrect. Brian says 21. It's not 21. Let's see here. We got 20 and 21 from Godson. No, that's not correct. Let's see. 24. Incorrect.
Godson, you spamming now. You say
he's spamming now. Let's see here. Nobody said it yet. Oh, we got Cincy Edits in here. Uh-oh. Can't let Cincy Edits get in on it. Nobody said it yet. Somehow. Wow, Joshua, you just picked too difficult a number. They just aren't able to.
Glad I did it.
Nobody's getting it. Let's see.
But aside from football, CP3 is he 2 games away from becoming a NBA champion?
I just knocked over my PlayStation controller. But yes, 2 victories away. However, I'm going to make a bold prediction. He ain't winning it.
Don't do that. You think
it's over?
You think Gianna's going to come back in 6?
I think he may come back in 6. I think there's a chance he comes back in 6. I think everybody's counting out. I'm trying to pay attention to the chat as well. Everybody's counting out the Bucks because they haven't been playing very good defense and things like that. But this is a team they were down 0-2 to the Brooklyn Nets.
That's Brooklyn though.
Yeah, that's KD and that's and then everybody else got injured. But
that's all hype in Brooklyn.
But it's still something where like they have that belief behind them where it's like they've done it before and that can help them carry them to the next level. They've played great defense on D-Book. It's just whether or not guys can hit shots for them. And I think eventually they will hit shots. Amazingly, nobody's guessed the number yet,
yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I think Milwaukee comes back. I believe Don C guessing 31.
I like the fact that you put 31. Who had 31 to play for us? Jamal?
Yeah, that's a Jamal number. Today, do you follow the NBA? Do you watch basketball? What do you think?
No, I don't follow NBA. I follow soccer, but not NBA.
Not NBA. I don't know. People in the chat can get. People gave up on guessing the number since he had to say 54. It is an actual number, and it's not a number like it's not like pi. It's not E. It's a rational number between 1 and 30. It may be the only number that hasn't been guessed. I don't know. It's
actually, I don't say nothing else.
But yeah, overall, make sure to check out the second channel and things like that. I'll put that in here.
There it is.
And look at that. We got Godson 02, saying number 18.
Going through the whole number line.
Godson got it 18. How we can do it is just email truzthebank@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Twitter, and then just tell me what jersey you want, what size, and then the address, and I can send that out to you. Should be a lot of fun. Oh, look at that. Look who missed the party. We got Engraven Vids in the chat. Engraven saw you at the Lamar Jackson fun day today. How was that? We were talking about that earlier, but Dauncey says I was going to pick 18. Dauncey, you guessed like 10 numbers before you would have guessed 18.
Who wore 18 as a Ravens? Did Vinny Testaverde wear 18?
Oh, that's what we got to know. Now we got to find out. Ravens. I feel like Jeremy Maclin wore 18.
Did he?
Or did he wear 18 before Baltimore?
I'm thinking. I want to say Jeremy Maclin wore 10.
Also, Elvis Gorbeck.
Okay.
19 Rashad.
Oh, How did we not get it? Brashad Perriman.
Aha. I wasn't thinking about Brashad. I was thinking about somebody that actually was beneficial to the team and Grady.
Yeah, I was thinking of the like good players, like memorable players that we could think of. But yeah, that's a rough number. Nick Vogel, number 18. But
I don't know about you. Did you see? It was some videos on Twitter. It started showing Kyle Bowler. It started showing the Kyle Bowler days. Like we was playing a game against New England, and he threw the ball, and he got picked off, and he just laid down on the ground, as if he got blocked. Kyle Bowler really hurted my feelings, man. And the only reason Brian Billick put up with him wasn't he dating his daughter? I think it's something like that.
I don't even remember, but that sounds like a reason why you could keep Kyle Bowler. Here's the email. I'll send it. trustthebank@gmail.com. That should be correct. Let's see. I'm looking up. Yeah. Elvis is the best player to ever wear it, but
good.
That's an unfortunate number, I guess, for the Ravens. Unfortunately, nobody else is.
Somebody has to bring it back and give it some real meaning.
Yeah, see, that's why we need Nate McCrary to hop on the squad and rep number 18. I don't know if he even can rep number 18, but I want him to do it.
He can. Running backs can wear between 1 through 20.
Yeah, I think you can actually wear 1 through 40.
Something like that. Yeah.
Or 1 through 49. Because Bobby Humphrey wore 44, but I don't know if they changed the rule on the running back.
I feel like when you get 44, you have to be like a mean. You gotta be a vicious running back.
Yeah.
Bottom league, 44.
Ooh.
I think bottom league 44.
Yeah.
Who wore 44?
Vontae Leach. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything 30 and higher.
Patrick Ricard.
Dynamic player, man. You gotta be. Whether it's your strength or your feet, your footwork. You just gotta be that guy when you wear 30 and higher.
Yeah, I don't see very many guys. You look at the best running backs ever, or at least the physical ones. What are their numbers? 34.
Yeah.
Those were the guys. The Bo Jacksons, the Walter Paytons of sort, wearing the 30s, and then somebody wore 43. I can't remember who. Oh, Justice Hill wears. What does Justice Hill wear? Is he 43? 42?
You don't count him. He's not a running back. He's a special team.
He's not a running back. Unfortunately.
Patrick Ricard.
Yeah, Patrick Ricard rocks the in the 40s number. I don't know. If anybody else has any more questions, we can still keep going. We can answer that stuff. I am going golfing in a little bit, so I can't stream for too long. I'm going to turn this off, though. I'm tired of that light in my face. It's really bright. But what do you guys think? Y'all have any other questions about, it doesn't even have to be Raven stuff. It can be about, whatever y'all want to ask about. We'll talk about it, like usual on the streams, but it's not like there's a ton of Ravens information and news going around that we get to talk about. We got to wait for preseason.
Everybody in the chat, drop your favorite sports movie, man. I just watched Miracle on Disney Plus. First time watching it.
Oh, it's a good one.
And the funny thing is, shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They won the championship, the hockey, in the NHL. That's one of my favorite teams. Them and the Ducks.
See, for me, it absolutely has to be Remember the Titans for me. Gotta be Remember the Titans. Just so good. I've watched that movie like twice a year. But there's a lot of good ones. You know what? Unfortunately, I'm gonna say is like really overrated.
Which one?
I just don't really enjoy Space Jam.
You know what? I'm gonna be real. I'm a LeBron James fan, but I'm not looking forward to this new one coming out. I'm not.
Like, I'm even a Jordan. I love Jordan. I think Jordan's the GOAT, but I'm like, I don't really enjoy Space Jam, and I'm definitely not looking forward to the second Space Jam because I don't think the first one was very good. It's just like, it's just random. I don't know. I will say I do like Trainwreck though. So I loved LeBron in Trainwreck. If y'all saw Trainwreck.
Oh man, come on, man, that was a good movie. Oh, what did I just watch? So actually, Carter High School that played Permian from Friday Night Lights. They gave them their own movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched it on Amazon Prime, bro. When I watched it, I'm like, y'all was really living life like this as high schoolers, because you gotta check the stories. Like 6 or 7 of them went to jail. I'm talking about did time. The only one that made it out of that 88 class was Jesse Armstead to the NFL, because 6 of them started robbing stores. Then they robbed 33 stores within 2 months.
Oh my gosh, crazy. Another really good movie, very underrated, is the movie McFarland. I don't know if y'all consider cross country a sport. I personally don't. I might get hate for that, but I love the movie. Great movie.
I didn't watch it. I know what you're
really good.
Another underrated movie on Disney, off of Disney's Glory Road. A lot of people don't even know that story about what was it, Texas Western versus Kentucky in the NCAA championship, the basketball team, and Pat Riley was on that team.
Another good one on Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure it's still on Disney Plus. Secretariat, the greatest athlete of all time. Secretariat.
I refuse to watch it.
You won't watch it?
I ain't got time to watch no movies about no horse.
The horse is the greatest athlete of all time, though.
Yeah, Don. You know.
Since he's saying McConnell the golfer, yep, that's me.
No.
I'm the golfer. See, y'all can't see the golf stuff in this room, but it is there. There is golf stuff. Now I kind of got to show it off. You know, if you like look up, we got the golf stuff. Let's see. Whoa. But y'all just see the football stuff and the basketball behind me. That's all y'all can see.
The Replacements. I think the Replacements actually filmed in Baltimore, because when I look at the stadium, I'm like, it looks familiar. It looked like M&T.
Oh,
so I think
really?
Actually filmed here with Keanu Reeves. That was a good one.
Yeah, there's so many good movies. Even just narrowing it down to just sports movies. There's so many. Let's see here. There's one that I was thinking of. Major League.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna say I think baseball has the best sports movies.
That's one of my favorites.
Like they got so many good baseball movies.
You can't forget about Sandlot.
Yeah, The Sandlot.
The Perfect Game.
The Perfect Game.
The Perfect Game.
Yeah.
It was about a Mexican team that became the first international team to win the little World Series.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't know why baseball is the best. I think it's just because it's the easiest to get set. It's much more difficult to get the dynamic of a football team and getting all that locker room stuff. Whereas baseball is just like talk to the pitcher and that's it. That's all you got to do.
Well, baseball, I would say, they have a more strenuous journey to get to the major league, because there's levels in the minor league. You know, when it comes to football, either you made it or either you didn't. And you know, it's not like, oh yeah, you're gonna get a call from the CFL, you're gonna get a call from Arena Football. Once you made your bid, pretty much you're there. You're making a name for yourself there, and you know.
But never forget NBA 2K19 and the road to becoming an NBA player. The worst, most unrealistic way to get picked up at a street ball tournament. It made no sense.
The funny thing is, the only person that really the only person that lived that life was Rayford Alston. He went from N1 to the NBA. You're not gonna find another like it.
Yeah, that's like the least likely to go to the NBA path. Like go international, like that's realistic. Going international, then coming back, that type of stuff. I see Cincy edits talking about, the roster saying might as well build LSU. Yeah, and then watch LSU lose because they're missing the captain of their defense, Patrick Queen. But y'all can build LSU. They ain't got no offensive line, and you don't have Justin Jefferson or Terrace Marshall, but
or Lamar Chase.
All they got is Jamar. All they got, and they don't have Penei Sewell because that's a rip.
They're for real.
Yeah, actually, for me, Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell was a big miss for the Bengals. Not because Jamar Chase is a bad player; he's a very good player, but I mean, you're going to trust John Williams to stay healthy? It's like saying to, I don't know, to Kyle Fuller to have a very good day on a playoff game. You're not going to rely on him.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, that's why Cincinnati's never won. It's because they do stupid stuff like that all the time. But if y'all have any more questions, we'll probably wrap up the stream in like 9 minutes. But we'll see. And Graven says they went with the sexy pick. He would have done the same thing. Yeah, they went with the sexy pick. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, that's probably who Joe Burrow wanted, but I wouldn't trust a quarterback coming off of a season-ending injury to get a weapon, because any smart quarterback would say, "Get me an offensive line."
Joey B, man, Joey B is a fighter. I don't know if it's something out. I don't know what they're going to do for his offensive line, but I feel like, hey, I gotta get my boy here. I gotta get him here. So I don't know what's the future holds for Cincinnati. I'm really not worried because they're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole once again.
Yeah, once again, it's kind of sad that they were like, I know people that. I don't know. Some people really. I don't know. What do you guys think about Joe Burrow, in comparison to Baker Mayfield? Because for me, I would take Baker Mayfield every day of the week. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a massive Baker Mayfield fan, which I am. But I don't know. I'm not big on Joe Burrow. I'm not sold on him.
Joey reminds me of a better version of Eli Manning.
Talent-wise or his winning ability?
Talent-wise.
Okay, yeah. I think that's fair.
But the sad thing is Joey B he's in the AFC. If he was in the NFC, I definitely feel like he would win more games. But until the GM and coaching they all on the same page, it might be a rough road for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough watching. I mean, it's not even just being in the AFC. It's in the AFC North on the by far worst team with no defense, when every other team has a very good defense and all get after the quarterback and all have star players on defense, like TJ Watt, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Myles Garrett. You got the helmet basher, and you got to go up against him. That's rough.
At this point, if I was Joey B, I said, "Hey, can we call Vontaze back up? I need somebody on that defensive side of the ball."
That's perfect. Juju took him out. Juju ended him. He's done. I see. I think it's Malte Nauman says Justin Houston will be a double-digit sack guarantee if he's healthy. I would agree with that. It's a 17-game season now. If he's healthy, he should be able to get after the quarterback 10 times in the season. Which is why he wants money, because he knows that he's stayed healthy and he knows that he's produced, and everybody acts like he's this old veteran that's going to sit back and like be a Pernell McPhee type player when he's going to come in and be a primary pass rusher and really play very well. So that's just very difficult with Justin Houston, and why he's going to be more expensive than what we all initially expected for him, because we all thought it was like, oh yeah, just get Justin Houston on a cheap deal. And it was like, oh wait, Justin Houston's smart and he wants good money. But, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we are able to get him. It's just, I don't know if we're going to spend the money.
It's such an up in the air. I won't even say 50-50. It's an up in the air situation.
And that's what's kind of scary about the NFL is just,
unpredictable as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, but all right, guys, I gotta go. But I don't know, Joshua, if you want, you can keep streaming, and I can just leave. But if not, we can end the stream. I think
we did good for us to come back. We'll be dropping a new episode, new content. So it's just good to be back on here with the originals, the OGs. We love this atmosphere. We love doing this, man. And y'all help us keep going. So I think we're good for the day.
All right, everybody, make sure to sub to the second channel. Just put it in the chat. Go sub to there. We'll definitely have some content out this week over there. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but then we'll end up we'll get the stream set up over there eventually. Hopefully next week. In like 10 days or whatever, we can start getting that. So then we have like at least 2 streams a week. Just one of them will be over on the gaming side. So then, it's not just watching our faces. Then the other side will be the live with the viewers. Bring all you guys on. Thank you, Tadeo, for coming on. As always, returning viewer or returning guest. But thanks, everybody. We'll see all of you again, tomorrow with a video, but we'll see all of you again next week with the live with the viewers.
All right, y'all.